Rats have had a stigma against them dating back to 1347, the year of the Black Plague. But the truth is, rats actually had no part. Scientists believe now that it was in fact all humans' fault. The plague was caused by fleas that carried the quick-spreading disease. And that's exactly the problem. The disease spread too quickly for rats to be the main carrier. It spread so fast that it's only possible humans were carrying the fleas on their hair and clothes, spreading it person to person. Now, that's not to say you can go pick a rat off the street and be fine. That's not what this is about. Street rats are bound to have diseases, but so aren't any other stray animals. People are quick to judge rats based on their appearance and stigma. Yet, nobody thinks about the fact that stray dogs or cats could also be diseased. This is about domestic rats, and the amazing pets that they can be. What made you first decide to get pet rats?
Well, my daughter, who is now 23, when she was, let's say about 5 or 6, she had always loved animals, and so we decided to get a pair of female rats. It was Petunia and Dolly, and they knew their names. You can call them by their names, and they can come. I could teach them tricks. We would have them like stand up, on their hind legs for food, and do little tricks. Just really, just such a joy to have. And my only complaint was that they didn't live long enough.
Rats are extremely loving and intelligent, even possessing the ability to recognize their owner's voice. They can be trained to use a litter box, just like cats, and will even be affectionate with you, sometimes licking you just like a dog.
They're supposed to come out.
When you were in the process of becoming a veterinarian, did you know you'd be working with small animals such as rats, or was this something you had to learn later on?
It is something I had to learn later on. Actually, going into vet school, I thought I was going to be an equine vet. I thought I was going to work with horses.
Oh.
So it's totally different than what I thought was going to happen. But that's kind of the great thing about being a veterinarian, is that you have a lot of options and you can explore different pathways. And I'm very happy that I get to do dogs and cats, and then I also do small mammals, including rats, and it's been really rewarding. In terms of learning about rats, that's been a lot of on the job. We do get some training in small mammals during school, but a lot of it is learning as you go too. So it's been great. I really, really enjoy it.
Rats are incredibly clean creatures, contrary to popular belief. They spend 30 to 40% of their waking time grooming themselves. Keep their enclosure clean, and they'll keep themselves clean. How do you feel about rats? Are there any perceived notions or concerns that you have about them?
I have never been a big fan of rats. They've kind of always scared me until I saw Liberty's rats in the cage from afar. Then I thought they were cute. Their tails do scare me.
What are your thoughts on owning rats as pets?
I never really thought about this because I'm a dog person, so I never thought about having rats as pets. It kind of throws me off guard. But to each their own. If they love rats, they can have rats as pets.
Rats are incredibly social creatures and need a cage mate in order to function. They strive on affection and playfulness, so having a cage mate is always an advantage to a longer, happier life for a rat. Are there any tips you would give to someone who's considering adopting pet rats?
Don't be afraid. They're so delightful and funny and sweet, and it will be just completely and totally worth it. I would generally go with a pair just because they're very social creatures, and unless you can sit next to the cage 24/7 and hang out with them and read them stories and whatnot, they really like to have a little partner in crime, so to speak. And just get ready for lots of ratty love.
opinion changed on rats at all after this experience?
I would say yes, simply because when they were in my lap, I wasn't like scared. I got comfortable with them, and like they're just really soft, and their tail feels like a blanket, so it's not scaly at all, like you would think. So I think my opinion has changed.
If you could, would you own a rat as a pet?
No.
If there's one thing rats love to do, it's eat. Luckily, they eat the same fruits, except citrus, vegetables, and special treats that humans do. So you can eat together in a bonding moment and get them a pup cup when you get yourself some Starbucks. In your opinion, do you believe rats make good pets?
Absolutely. I think they're great pets. I think they're so interactive with people. They're not a traditional pet, but I think they could be. A lot of people think that they're unclean or they're scary somehow, but they're so sweet. They're great companions. They're so smart. They're very cuddly. They're really great pets for people. I see that they have a great emotional support for people, which I think is really, really great. The only downside, I think, is that their life expectancy is not very long, and people become very attached to them, and the rats are attached to the people in return. And that's hard to see and watch, that, they don't have that much time with their companions. But that's really the only downside I see with having them as a pet.
The only downside to pet rats is forming bonds with them that are cut way too short. Rats unfortunately have very short lifespans, living only 2 to 4 years. They are prone to illnesses, tumors, and respiratory issues that are chronic. It's amazing how an animal so small can leave such a big hole in your heart when they're gone. Though they have quite a stigma against them, pet rats prove to be the most extraordinary companions that touch your heart in ways you would never expect.